So I'm going to tell you guys about a free EV charger that we just put in today, and why I just woke up at 1:30 a.m. Yesterday was not a good day. I had so much trouble sleeping. I like to stay up late. I like to, there's always a stream to watch. I don't know. It's like I go to bed and then there's a stream on and I'm like, oh, I want to watch this. And then I end up staying up till 5 or 6 in the morning watching a stream. So, no different there yesterday. And I fell asleep probably around 5 or 6. And then at 7, I woke up because, sugar decided that it didn't want to be high anymore. I was dealing with high sugar all day yesterday. And I'm on insulin. I'm a diabetic. I mean, that's things that you have to deal with. And, I did everything I could to try to bring the sugar down all day yesterday. It stayed above 200. There was really nothing I could do. So I eventually just said, well, forget it. I'll take, I have a shot that I take every night before bed, and I'll just go to bed. And about 4 hours after going to bed, I woke up. That timeline doesn't pan out, but whenever I looked at the clock, I figured I had been in bed 4 hours. Anyway, 4 hours after going to bed, I woke up and my sugar had dropped to like 80. And I was like, okay, that's not horrible, but I'll have a little candy bar, go back to bed. I slept for an hour. It dropped to 77. I'm like, did I double take my shot? Like, I was beginning to wonder at that point. So I ate 2 candy bars, went back to bed. Then I got woke up by UPS knocking, wanting signature on a package. Went back to bed. Then I got a call from the electrician installing this charger out here, and I had to get up and go do that. So I didn't get very much sleep. So when I came home for the afternoon today, I crashed and I slept until 1:30, and now I'm awake. And I didn't get to make this video, even though I was planning on doing it. It's now dark, but I guess it's no different. So there's a local charger here in town, EV charger, J1772 charger, or plug, I guess you'd say, not necessarily a charger. Been here for years. I think it was put in 2017. And it recently stopped working. I think it had a short in it or something was going on. Whatever happened, it stopped working. It has been down for months, and it seemed as if nobody cared. It had some names on it for people who had sponsored the charger, and I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll try to get a hold of those people to see if they want to fix it. Maybe they want to work with me as a new partnership or something, because, money's tight for everybody. This was before my business even, took a dive for the wrong direction. So, I had the money. I was like, hey, let's do it. I don't care. I will gladly slap my business's logo on a charger and put it in. And finally got a hold of the right people. I guess the power is being paid for by the McDowell County Chamber of Commerce. And they could not physically afford to replace the charger. They just do the power. So right here in front of Subway, you'll see a pulsing wall connector. That's cool. There's a train coming as well. Actually, I'm going to back up just a little to use the light from my car. And you also get to see a train. Hopefully my car stays lit up. That's a train. Train's right up there. So this is the Tesla charger here. And then on the other side is the J1772 Tesla charger. And of course, my business and logo and QR code. And if you scan that, someone's actually used it because they didn't hang it back up the way it's supposed to be. That's funny. If you scan the QR code, okay, there we go. It's a little hard. It takes you to my website and tells you, hey, there's a free EV charger right here, sponsored by our company. So we got this installed today. They're both on 48 amp. They're on 60 amp, but they can both pull 48 amp at the same time. No problems. And I love to see that it's already getting some use because someone's clearly been here already. That's great. Hasn't been in 12 hours yet. That train was going fast. Right here in front of Subway in Old Fort, North Carolina. And it's pretty awesome to say that, I could help sponsor. I don't know why it's pulsing. I set it up. I mean, I went through all of the... I have all the Wi-Fi logins somewhere. But I've already set it up, and it's acting... I mean, it doesn't have Wi-Fi because we don't have Wi-Fi here. So hopefully it will stop pulsing. That's supposed to only do that when it's broadcasting its Wi-Fi network, and yeah. So I may try to connect to it right quick while I'm here and see if I can't make it stop doing that. Check the settings, and it says it's because it's not on Wi-Fi, but I don't have Wi-Fi here, so that's cool. I didn't check to see if the other one was doing it. It's not. It is steady. Okay, cool. I don't know. I mean, it works. So I tested it. I'm sure whoever was on it earlier tested it. It's not, there's an app called PlugShare, and people are very, very open to report if it's not working. They're very happy to tell you that it's not working. They don't do it so much if they use it and it works. They just come on there to say it doesn't work. So anyway, so yeah, I was happy to participate. And, I mean, my website is still a thing, even though, I say I'm not making as much money anymore. I'm still very much selling everything I used to sell. It's just that I'm not making as much money as I once made. Oh, I hit the button too. Yeah, that was my fault. So yeah, that's that. The first of maybe many to come, who knows? I do love helping grow everything. There is a supercharger not very far from here, actually. No, you can't see it on the map just yet. We're within 2-3 minutes of the supercharger at this point. So it's not like it's, majorly needed in the area for a Tesla charger. But, I thought for the future of this little small town, they're always wanting to bring people in, and they've opened up breweries. Okay, I can't say that word. But, bars. They've opened up all these different restaurants and bars and things like that. So, obviously they're trying to get tourism, and what more than have an EV charger where you could park your Tesla right there, in the middle of town and walk to any place you want to go. So it was a prime opportunity for me. I knew that Tesla had the best hardware, so I wanted to go that route. And funny enough, that's not how it all started. This whole process actually started 2 months ago. The charger's been down for 3 or 4 months right now, as of today. Whole process started 2 months ago, and I got with the right people. We talked about possibly me, sponsoring the charger, getting my name out there, and or at least my business name out there, and all that. And we all came to an agreement, and everything was looking great. So I went and bought, a Tesla wall connector and a Juicebox 48, which was just because I wanted to put the fastest possible charger I could there on an AC current. And Juicebox 48 was like $800, so it was a little expensive. But I was like, it's for the project. I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. So I bought it. I put it in my car. I drove around with it for a month. We had so much trouble getting the electrician to schedule and actually come do the job. So I had to hold on to it for a month. And then Tesla said, well, we're going to start selling the J1772 connector again. And I was like, well, that's a lot cheaper than $800. So I promptly returned the $800 juice box and bought a Tesla J1772 wall connector. Now that didn't come with its own problems. They sent me the wrong thing first. I had to return it, wait for the new one. But again, we still couldn't get the electrician to come. We had hired some sort of, I don't even know, the lady that was in charge of hiring the person to come install it. I guess she just went to Google and typed in EV charger installer, and it came up with the first guy who was 40 miles away, and he way underbid the job. I actually went and got quotes after it sat for 2 months and couldn't get him to come do the work. And my quotes were in the $600 to $800 range. He had bid the job at $300. And I think that's why he just wouldn't show up. He underbid it and knew that he wasn't going to make any money. So he just wouldn't come. We tried to schedule with him. We tried to talk to him. The conversation was always an excuse. It was always, oh, I can't today. I'm not going to be able to do it this week. It'll be next week. It started out with, I'm currently 2 weeks out. Okay, great. Can we go ahead and get on the schedule for 2 weeks from today or whenever you're available to get it started? Well, for an additional charge, I could just come do it tomorrow. Like, no, we're not interested in an additional charge. We don't need it on the weekend or anything like that. Just add us to your schedule. 2 weeks from now, we'll be fine. He didn't reply. So 2 weeks later, I messaged him. I'm like, okay, hey, it's been 2 weeks. Is it time? Like, when's our schedule? Oh, I'm still about 2 weeks out. Like, no, you were 2 weeks out 2 weeks ago. Now you're a month out. Like, that's not how this works. So I kind of got a little angry with him and told him that I probably wouldn't be hiring him after all. and in the nicest possible way, as you might imagine, because you know how I am. And I started bidding for quotes, and you don't always want to go with the cheapest because you want it done right. I was able to find a local electrician who, was willing to do it fairly quickly. We hired him 2 days ago, and he understood, how EV chargers work. He understood that he needed copper wire, it needed a 60 amp breaker, stuff like that. So we were on board. We hired him, and today he came and did it. So, so far so good. I stayed there for 2 hours after they installed it and charged my car, because it's free. Free is, I already paid, for everything, so it's free now. But I also wanted to make sure that the breaker didn't trip, stuff like that, and all was good. So yeah, really happy about it, and hopefully these last for another 5 or 10 years. I think Tesla makes a pretty quality product as long as it's taken good care of. I'll be going out there pretty regularly. It's 2 minutes from where I live, so I'll be going by pretty regularly. I'll probably just stop in and make sure the cords are not laying on the ground and hung up properly and all that. But yeah, super excited for it. We don't have Wi-Fi there, which I didn't think would be an issue, but now the wall connector is pulsing green, and Google says that it's probably because it can't connect to Wi-Fi. Well, I have Wi-Fi disabled, so it shouldn't be doing that, and the other one's not doing that, so I don't really understand why it's still pulsing green. I might try to reset the breaker and see, it says 15 minutes after you reset the breaker, it will stop. So I might try to do that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, super excited. So I ended up going back to the charger the next day and just plugged in for a minute just to make sure things were good. And the light had stopped pulsing. So I'm kind of wondering if the person who used it probably just used it within the last 15 minutes of me shooting that video. Because it's possible that if you hold the button on the charge handle for 5 seconds, it will cause it to start pulsing for 15 minutes and then it'll stop again. That's my only guess, but everything seems to be working good, and it's just really neat to be able to, provide this to the public. There's, on PlugShare, there's a lot of cars that say, I was trying to go to Asheville, but I just didn't have the range. I had to stop here and charge. So it is a highly utilized charger, and, especially for non-Teslas that don't have the range, it's needed. And there were a lot of comments from people who, were trying to use the charger while it was down that just simply couldn't. So, yeah, I'm happy to get it back up and going. Plus, when I first bought my first Tesla, I didn't have charging at home. I had a 7 amp regular wall connector, outlet. And, even though those are 12, it would only pull 7 because I guess the wiring really sucks. So I went there, and even though it was only 30 amp, it was way faster than charging at home. And And I used that for about a week before I could install my own wall connector. So it was useful to me in the past, and I knew it was useful to others. And I thought, if nothing else, it'd be nice to just stop and plug in. I've never went to the Hillman brewery, whatever it's called, just right across the street. It's something new. It's been there about a year. Kind of expensive, I've heard, but apparently they got good food. And one day I want to do that. So now I can just go plug in and check it out, get some free charge while I'm doing it. So anyway, I'm going to end the video here. I had recorded a different segment of just rambling about why it was a good idea and why electric cars are awesome. And I was like, that's pointless. You guys already know all that. So, yeah, see you guys later.